We're back on the Sports Zone. I am Mike Aglialoro. Today we're going to look at a couple things that have been in the news a lot recently, and they both center around one central question. Should college athletes be paid? Now, the first issue involving this is the Ed O'Banion lawsuit. Ed O'Banion, former UCLA Bruin, scored 31 points, 17 rebounds in the 96 championship game they won against the Arkansas Razorbacks. In 2009, after seeing his likeness used in a video game, sued the NCAA for using his likeness without compensating him for it. Now, the NCAA makes all student athletes at the age of 17 sign a waiver giving away their rights for perpetuity, for all time. The same 17-year-old kids who are not allowed any sort of legal representation, and if they have legal representation, they can be deemed ineligible for NCAA play. That's important right there. So as a result of that, Ed O'Banion had been joined by as much as 50 athletes, including Bill Russell, Oscar Robertson, Eric Dickerson, and Arian Foster, who believe they should be compensated for the use of their likeness and other athletes like them. The other issue at play here is, of course, while all this is going on, the students at Northwestern University have decided to unionize and have the university recognize them as employees so they can receive health benefits and better working conditions, amongst other things. This, of course, has caused a major rift in the university, as the head coach and the president of athletics were not informed of the students' decision ahead of time. And this week, 3 athletes on Northwestern, including the quarterback, came out and said that they were against the way this situation has been handled. Now, before I give my opinion here, I just want to say if you all get a chance to do so, you should go and check out The Daily Show with Jon Stewart from Thursday, April 8th. He has a great rant about this whole particular subject, and I'm not even going to try to replicate that. I'm just going to give my opinion. Wanted to say that beforehand. I don't really think it's as simple as paying student athletes, because they receive scholarship money that other people in their position may not get, obviously. And in the case of Northwestern athletes, the union is set to only include players on scholarships. So you're leaving out players who could use the health benefits who don't have the luxury of basically getting a free ride here. So I think you're leaving out a group of people that may in fact need it more than those on scholarships. So, like I said, it's not as simple as paying student athletes, because, yeah, they're there to play football, but, in effect, in theory, they're supposed to be there to get an education, something that, millions of people either don't get or have to spend the rest of their lives paying for in this country. That's a privilege, and that shouldn't be lost here, as much as the universities themselves have been known to make a mockery of the whole process over the years. My opinion, like I said, I don't think the athletes should be paid. However, if you're one of the lucky few people who's able to profit off your own likeness, you should be able to do so. And in the Ed O'Banion case, the fact that the NCAA feels that they have rights over these people's likenesses for perpetuity is absolutely preposterous in this day and age. And how you enforce a contract signed by a 17-year-old who's not allowed to have legal representation, like I said, is out of anything any reasonable person can ever imagine. But in the case, we've seen cases all the time, like Johnny Manziel signs some footballs for an autograph signing and is investigated by the NCAA for it. Something like that should not be penalized in my eyes. I think players should be allowed to make personal appearances. If they want to do autograph signings here or there, I think they should be allowed to do that. Because as great as it is that they get the free ride on the college scholarship, to my way of thinking, that's equivalent to a guy who's able to pay all his bills, and at the end of the month, he just breaks even. He has nothing left. I think they should be allowed. I think everyone should be allowed to make money off their likeness if they're able to. But I don't think there's anything wrong with capping that. Average tuition cost per year is about $60,000 to $80,000 at some of these big-name Division I universities. Is it really the worst thing in the world if the kid is able to make $20,000 to $30,000 a year off of personal appearances. And if you think about it, that's a practical appliance of what these kids are supposed to be learning at these universities anyway. Because you're making money off your name, in effect, you're running your own business, something that can benefit them in the future. I don't know if it's right or wrong. The O'Banion case is set to go to trial in June if the parties don't settle beforehand. And, like I said, the list of athletes that have joined that over the last 5 years just continues to grow. We'll see how many wind up joining that by the time it goes to trial. And as far as Northwestern goes, thus far, the district courts have thrown out Northwestern's appeal that just to throw out the case. So obviously they're granting some degree of validity to that. We'll see what winds up happening. I said my opinion. I don't think they're employees, and I don't think they should be paid for it. But personal appearances, nothing wrong with that in my eyes. Check out some of the other content on This Is SportsZone. Check out the 2014 NFL Draft Preview by Jake Dixon. His latest installment was the safeties. He's going to be doing the linebackers next. And, make sure you check out the division-by-division improvements and team needs heading into the NFL Draft for the NFC East and the AFC East. And, as we say this, the Pacquiao-Bradley fight will be starting shortly. So I'm going to go. And, like us on Facebook, check us out on Twitter at We Are SportsZone. Send us any questions and comments you may have. And I want to take the time to thank the two guys who have definitely put up the most comments on the ThisIsSportsZone.com website. My father, Michael L. Aglialoro. Love you, Dad. Thank you very much. And the guy who's kind of been like my second father over the years, mentor, friend, John Sampson. Thank you both. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Once again, for This Is SportsZone, I am Mike Aglialoro. We'll see you next time, folks.